The emperor sits alone in his tent, stylus in hand, writing words no one will read for centuries. Around him, senators and generals compete for his attention, offering counsel that serves their interests more than his empire. Yet Marcus Aurelius writes about three people, just three, whose judgment he values above the chorus of voices that surround his throne. Three minds he trusts when the weight of Rome presses against his shoulders. The most powerful man in the known world understood something we have forgotten. The size of your inner circle determines the quality of your decisions, and the quality of your decisions determines the shape of your life. This is not about isolation. This is about intention. The Stoics discovered that trust is not a renewable resource. Spend it carelessly, and you will find yourself surrounded by advisors who tell you what you want to hear, rather than what you need to know. Hoard it completely, and you will face life's storms without the strength that comes from genuine alliance. But invest it wisely in a carefully chosen few, and you create something the Romans call fides, the bedrock upon which character is built and tested. The first principle cuts through modern confusion about networking and social connection. Proximity does not equal intimacy. Epictetus learned this in chains. As a slave, he was surrounded by people daily, masters, fellow slaves, visitors to the household. But proximity bred familiarity, not trust. The people closest to him physically were often the quickest to betray a confidence or exploit a weakness for their own advantage. His circle of trust was not determined by who spent the most time near him, but by who demonstrated consistent character when no reward was offered. Trust, he realized, must be earned through patterns of behavior, not promises or charm. Those who proved reliable in small matters could be trusted with larger ones. Those who gossiped about others would eventually gossip about him. The slave who became philosophy's great teacher understood that your inner circle should be composed of people who act the same way, whether anyone is watching or not. The second principle challenges our hunger for approval and validation. Not everyone deserves access to your struggles. Seneca learned this lesson through exile and political catastrophe. When Nero's paranoia turned toward his former tutor, Seneca watched his social circle evaporate overnight. Colleagues who had praised his wisdom publicly now avoided his letters privately. Dinner invitations stopped arriving. The literary salons that once competed for his presence suddenly had no room at their tables. But in this reduction, Seneca discovered something invaluable. A handful of correspondents continued writing. A few friends still visited, despite the political risk. These people, perhaps 6 or 7, formed what he called his inner citadel of fellowship. They had chosen loyalty over safety, truth over convenience. In losing hundreds of acquaintances, he found his true allies. Your struggles reveal who belongs in your circle of trust. Share them widely, and you create opportunities for manipulation. Guard them completely, and you miss the counsel that could save you. Share them selectively with people who have proven their discretion, and you build bonds that can withstand any pressure. The third principle transforms how we think about loyalty and reciprocity. Trust is built in deposits, not withdrawals. Cato the Younger demonstrated this in Rome's political arena, where alliances shifted like sand. Promises dissolved under pressure. While other senators traded favors and accumulated debts of gratitude, Cato built his circle differently. He looked for people who could be trusted to do the right thing, even when it cost them something. His inner circle was not composed of those who owed him favors, but those who shared his commitment to principle over profit. When political storms came, and they came often, Cato's allies stood with him, not because they had to, but because they chose to. They had built their relationship on shared values rather than mutual benefit. This created something stronger than the transactional alliances that dominated Roman politics. Trust built on character creates bonds that grow stronger under pressure, while trust built on convenience dissolves the moment circumstances change. Your circle of trust should be composed of people who choose to support your growth, not those who feel obligated to support your comfort. The fourth principle reveals why most relationships disappoint us. We confuse access with intimacy. Marcus Aurelius had access to thousands of people daily. Citizens petitioned him, advisors counseled him, family members sought his attention, generals reported to him. But access is not intimacy. Access is about convenience and necessity. Intimacy is about understanding and acceptance. The emperor understood the difference. His private writings reveal that he distinguished carefully between those who had access to his time and those who had access to his thoughts. The senators who filled his days were not the same people who shaped his character. The crowds who cheered his victories were not the individuals who challenged his assumptions. In his inner circle, he placed people who knew his doubts as well as his strengths, seen him struggle, and chosen to remain. They did not flatter his ego or feed his illusions. Instead, they offered the gift of honest reflection, the mirror that shows you not what you want to see, but what you need to see.
True intimacy is not about sharing your successes. It is about sharing your uncertainties with people who will help you find clarity rather than simply offering comfort.
The fifth principle completes the architecture of trust.
Your inner circle should make you more yourself, not less.
Cleanthes understood this as he worked by day and studied philosophy by night, building Stoicism's foundation, one careful thought at a time. The people he trusted most were not those who made life easier, but those who made life more meaningful. They challenged his thinking, supported his growth, and held him accountable to his highest standards. They did not ask him to compromise his values for their comfort, or modify his principles for their convenience. In their presence, he became more thoughtful, more disciplined, more committed to truth. This is the test of a true inner circle. Do these people call forth your best self, or do they enable your weaknesses? Do they encourage your growth, or do they profit from your stagnation? The people in your circle of trust should be those in whose presence you become more of who you are meant to be, not less. They should challenge you to rise, not accommodate your desire to coast. They should see your potential and hold you to it, even when you would rather settle for comfortable mediocrity. In the end, your circle of trust is not about the people who surround you. It is about the person you become in their presence. Choose carefully, trust slowly, but when you find those rare individuals who earn their place in your inner citadel, hold them close. They are not just your allies in the challenges of life. They are the mirrors in which your character is refined, the witnesses to your growth, the companions who walk with you toward wisdom. The emperor knew this, the slave knew this, the senator knew this. Now you know this too. If this moved you, comment "The Citadel holds" below. It is our sign that you carry the philosophy with you. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.